So for Corey to sit next to Zoe all this time, you sat next to this man, and as soon as he challenges you, now he's broke, now he's fake, now he's scary, and now he's been ducking an attorney. How is somebody ducking an attorney when he's sitting next to you every week? How is somebody ducking an attorney when he's sitting next to you every week? Something doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. So going back to the money does not. What's going on, good people? It's the Poor Black Man. I respect your time and I respect your intelligence. We're going to talk about Corey Holcomb versus Zoe Williams. Now, what you're looking at right now is my car. It's a Tesla Model 3. The cheapest Tesla money can buy. Actually, I added the white seats, so it was a little more. But I'm showing you this car because when I'm done with this video, I suspect there'll be some people in the comments calling me poor and broke, but I'm far from it. I paid cash for this car. I could buy a Lamborghini if I wanted to. So that's definitely not the case for me. Corey Holcomb is a phenomenal comedian. He's one of my favorite comedians. I drove from Texas, Houston, Texas, to California listening to Corey Holcomb. A couple years ago, I went out to Houston, Texas to buy a muscle car. I searched the whole United States. I found the perfect one in Texas, flew down there, drove it back home. My whole drive home, I was listening to the 5150 show.
The people's in Atlanta, but come on, every bitch in Atlanta get hit with a rubber. They run.
And it was hilarious. And that's when I became a really, really big fan. But during that drive, there were certain conversations where he would talk about, you know, his children's other parent, you know, his baby moms, so bad that it wasn't funny. And, you know, comedy is really rooted in, you know, the truth. So I kind of felt like Corey is a phenomenal comedian, but I wouldn't invite him to my house. I wouldn't want to hang out with Corey Holcomb. And this whole incident with Zoe Williams really speaks to his character. Let me break this down. Whenever you have, I'll tell you, in the black community, whenever you don't have a leg to stand on and somebody has a sound argument, people who tend to have a little bit of money always go to, you broke. It's like somebody saying, hey, you ugly, and they'll be like, but I got more money than you, you know? So people who don't have anything else to stand on, they can always go back to, I got more money than you. You broke and I'm not. So there's nothing you can say about me. And that's the type of person that Corey Holcomb is, right? Because when he talks about Grady, he talks about Zoe, and it always goes back to him apparently having more money than they do. Because according to Corey Holcomb, a real man doesn't live with a woman. Now when we talk about manhood,
parenting, as a man, we teach men how to be accountable. So part of me,
I'll give you my take. If you want to decide or determine or measure, you know, how much of a man somebody is, are you going to look at their bank account? Or are you going to look at their character, right? I always tell people, if you want to know something about me, ask my baby's mom. Ask my son's mother. Ask my BM. You want to know about me? Ask my BM. We are not together. We haven't been together since my son was born. My son is 6 years old. Ask her about me. We have a phenomenal relationship. And I always tell people, don't ask me about me. Ask somebody else who knows me. You know, they'll tell you the truth. I had, there was a reorg at my job. I work for the government, and there were people who were being moved into new positions, and me as a supervisor, somebody came to my office and asked to speak to me. They wanted to interview me to see if they wanted to work for me. And what I told her was, well, I'll tell you about myself, but you should really ask my staff, the people who have been working for me, under me. Ask them about me, and they'll tell you the truth if you really want to find out the truth about somebody. So I don't think you can take Corey's word for it, because we've never heard from his children. We've never heard from, you know, his girlfriend or wife or, you know, his exes. We only hear from Corey. And for somebody that continues to get in beefs with other comedians, people coming on his show and leaving, and fights, and he's always talking about somebody else, I knew it from listening to his comedy that he's not somebody that I would want to have around me. He's just funny. It stops there. I wouldn't want to hang around R. Kelly, but the music is good. And I can separate art from character, right? Because I really enjoy music from certain people, but I wouldn't invite them into my home. So for Corey to sit next to Zoe all this time, you sat next to this man, and as soon as he challenges you, now he's broke, now he's fake, now he's scary, and now he's been ducking an attorney. How is somebody ducking an attorney when he's sitting next to you every week? How is somebody ducking an attorney when he's sitting next to you every week? Something doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. So going back to the money, money does not make you a man. I sit here speaking to you, I'm almost a millionaire. Money does not make you a man. I have cash, I have stocks, I have real estate. I'm 37 years old, and I'm a couple 100,000 away from $1 million, but it doesn't make me a man. And this channel is called The Poor Black Man because, you know, when you really look at it from a macro level, $1 million is not that much money. I am closer to being homeless than I am to being a billionaire, than I am to Jeff Bezos, right? All of this can be lost. We've seen people run through hundreds of millions. We've seen athletes do it. So it would be foolish for me to act as if I'm untouchable, right? Money doesn't make you a man. Character does. So when you ask my son's mother, when you ask anybody that I dated, when you ask my staff, when you ask my mother, when you ask my friends, ask them about me, you know, your reputation will precede you. So if you really want to know about Corey Holcomb, you should ask his children. He got upset with Grady because Grady called him out and said somebody else is raising your son. See, whenever somebody calls Corey out, he wants to go back to, nigga, you broke. Whenever somebody calls Corey Holcomb out, he wants to go back to, I got more money than you. So what? It doesn't matter how much money you have. And to be honest, you're not really making money right now. Comedians are hurting. Comedians are hurting. Chris Rock said it himself. He said it on The Breakfast Club. People that he know, they've been calling him, trying to sell him stuff. So if you're watching this video and you are a fan of Corey, I am a fan of Corey, but I'm not a fan of what he's doing and what he did to Zoe Williams. You see, Zoe is somebody that I would hang out with. Zoe is somebody that I can learn from. When we talk about character, I really appreciated how Zoe responded to this by telling you about his life story, where he comes from. And I want to give a shout out to the brother Brandon on Craig's podcast, because he really pressed Corey and asked the questions. He said, Corey, you talking all this tough guy stuff, but when Zoe was sitting next to you, it was a different type of energy. Corey went on Craig's podcast and was like, I'll beat Zoe's ass. But he didn't say that when he was sitting next to Zoe, you know, and that's weak shit. That's sucker shit, right? Let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is, right? I don't know what else to say about this. I took some notes, you know. Money doesn't make you a man at all. Ask your children. Ask your children about you. You know, ask his children about him. And so I guarantee you, Zoe has a son and Corey has a son. If I were to ask Zoe's son about his father, and then I were to ask Corey's son about his father, I don't know what they would say, but from the looks of things, it doesn't appear that Corey has been a father to his child. It does not appear that Corey has been a good father to his child. I've heard him say things, fuck you and them kids, you know. I don't know what else to say, but if you're listening to this and you're a young person or an older person, be careful who you surround yourself with. Character trumps money. And men have this idea that you can be an asshole if you have money. The reality is Corey Holcomb doesn't have money. Let's just call it a spade a spade. Let's just call a spade a spade. Corey Holcomb does not have money, right? I seen Corey at the comedy show out here, Tommy T's, in that F-150 Celine, high performance pickup truck. I think it was a Celine, big F-150. It may have been a Raptor, whatever the case. I think he has an old school car as well. You're not gonna see Corey Holcomb pulling up in a Bugatti. You're not gonna see Corey Holcomb pulling up in a Rolls Royce. He ain't got it like that. He doesn't. When the money gets tight, people start changing. And for somebody to act as if they the big dog, you know, all because they can command a certain dollar amount on these comedy tours. You see, Corey is on the Chitlin circuit. Just a step above the Chitlin circuit, right? He's doing comedy clubs. Comedy is a grind. There's a reason why Corey Holcomb does not have a Netflix special. There's a reason why Dave Chappelle can get up there and talk about gays and lesbians, but Corey can't. He not there yet. But on the underground circuit, on the underground circuit, you know, Corey Holcomb is a legend in this comedy game. Let's not get it twisted. Corey Holcomb is a legend in this comedy game, but this shit that he doing right now is sucker shit. He went out when he met Stephen A. He was talking all that shit about Stephen A. Met him in person, didn't say nothing. Sit next to Zoe all this time. As soon as Zoe calls out his hypocrisy, now Zoe broke. Now Zoe ran from the attorney. You see, I need y'all to think outside the box. Come on now. We got a lot of Corey Holcomb fans out there, and I'm a Corey Holcomb fan, but I'm not a Corey Holcomb stan. Right? You can't call me broke. You cannot call me broke. Try that with somebody else. Right? I'm not a stan. I respect my son's mother. You know, I am a man of character. The number one thing in my life is my son. Number one. Before anything else, I am a father. Before anything else, my son comes first, as well as his mother. Right? We're not together, but she hasn't had to ask me for anything ever. I've always been there. We have a great relationship. My son is number one. Corey can't say the same thing. I'm going off on a tangent, but that's my take. You guys drop your comments below. But when we talk about manhood, if you're taking anything from this exchange between Zoe and Corey, understand that character, your character is what people will remember. When you die, people will remember your character. They will not remember how much money you had, especially when all you got is a condo and an F-150. Come on now. That's money. Let me tell you something. I can probably go 3 years without working. Maybe a little longer. I can probably go 3 years without working for anybody. I ain't rich though. And I'm not bragging. This is the Poor Black Man. I respect your time. I respect your intelligence. I see y'all in the next one. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I can't just leave without addressing Craig. Craig, I'm not feeling Craig right now. I have some issues with what Craig is doing. If y'all want to hear about that, let me know in the comments. Because if we gonna call a spade, why is Craig not keeping it real? I think it's because he wants to stay on Corey Holcomb's good side. He likes that exposure. Because if Craig is calling Corey the big homie, that's only because Corey has more money than he does. Men, if you have more money than another man, people start calling you big bro. I've had people call me little big bro. I have literally had people call me little big bro. Meaning there are people who are older than me, but they call me big bro because I have more money than they do. That's the weirdest shit ever. Good God. But you know what? I understand it. Because what they're saying is they look up to me. Despite my age, what they're saying is they look up to me. You can be a mentor to somebody that's older than you. So that's what they mean when they're calling me little big bro. But it also means that, I think it boils down to the money. So I'm done. I'm done, y'all. The Poor Black Man. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.